Welcome to The Human Thread, a space for those seeking something real in a world dominated by noise and algorithms. I'm Greg, and here we unravel the fabric of authentic connection through creativity, meaningful conversations, and reflections on the messy, beautiful human experience. Let's dive into the threads that bind us beyond likes and follows to meaning, art, and genuine dialogue. Take every meeting, no matter the person, no matter the situation. It's as simple as that. The other day, I was meeting with a former colleague for a coffee catch-up, and during that conversation, he lamented the challenge he was facing finding another job after he was laid off towards the end of last year. I asked if he had connected with the person that I had introduced him to late last year, and his response was, "No, I took a look at the company and it didn't seem like a good fit." To be honest, this was incredibly frustrating for me because I stuck my neck out to make this introduction to him, and he decided to not take advantage of that introduction. And so it actually inspired me to write this post. I have this rule. If I get introduced to someone, I take the meeting 100% of the time. No matter the person, no matter the situation, it's as simple as that. Why? Because relationships are everything, not just important, everything. Every moment we spend with another person is a chance to build something real, something meaningful. Too many people treat relationships like transactions. They want to know, what can I get from this? But this way of thinking misses a huge, huge point. And when my friend doesn't follow up on an introduction I gave him, it not only reflects negatively on him, it reflects negatively on me. That's part of the reason why I was so frustrated. I'm not saying you should meet every person just to be nice, but when you open yourself to new people, new ideas, and new opportunities, you're changing your mindset. You're shifting your focus from talking to giving first, offering value, kindness, and attention without expecting immediate rewards. And taking every meeting is about more than business. It's about human connection. It's about understanding that every introduction can lead to something bigger. It's a mindset shift for sure, a new way of thinking about relationships. And whether in your personal life, at work, or in your community, relationships are the foundation. If you aren't taking every meeting, you're closing yourself off to new possibilities. So, what is the psychology of connection? Well, humans are social creatures. We thrive on connection. From the moment we're born, we seek others. We need others. It's hardwired into our biology. Our brains are just built for those connections. And why is that important? Well, because meaningful connections are the key to happiness. Now, I found this uh, really, really long study on happiness from Harvard. And they found that good relationships keep us happier and healthier. And they're more important than money or fame. That's the kind of insight that makes you rethink how you approach the people around you. It certainly did for me. And when you take every meeting, you're opening yourself up to these kinds of connections. Your brain craves it. Even the smallest interactions with new people can have a lasting impact. And that's why it's so important not to judge someone before you meet them. You just never know who they could become in your life. And in business, that value of relationships can't be overstated. Research from the Stanford Social Innovation Review shows that social capital, quote, the value we get from our networks, is that key driver of success, not just in business, in life. The more people you know, the more opportunities open up. So when you close yourself off to those new relationships, you're cutting off those opportunities. You're shutting down that capillary that feeds into your life. Relationships aren't just about immediate transactions. They're about opening doors to things you haven't even considered yet. I really want to move from this take first mindset to the give first mindset. And so let's break that down. The world is full of people with a take first mentality. We all know them. The people who ask for favors, but they never give back. They're always looking to benefit from a relationship without putting anything in. And the problem with this approach is simple. It's transactional. It's self-serving, and ultimately it doesn't build deep, meaningful relationships. And guess what? When you're on the receiving end of that, it's painfully obvious. Now let's look at that flip side. The give first mindset. This is where you show up ready to offer value, to contribute, to help others. You're not just thinking about what you can get out of it, you're thinking about what you can offer. And that shift alone changes everything. Think of the most successful people you know. They're likely givers. They approach every interaction with the goal of offering something. It could be advice, an introduction, or just a kind word. And because of that, they build trust, they build loyalty. People want to help them because they've helped others first. And this leads to better, deeper, and more lasting relationships. And here's the kicker. It works in the short term too. Giving doesn't mean you're ignoring your own needs or goals. It just means you're prioritizing others. And in the long run, this almost always pays off. So, what's the data behind this approach? One of the best known studies on this topic comes from Adam Grant, who, by the way, if you're not following in other social channels, I highly recommend it. He's a professor at the Wharton School, and his book, Give and Take, explores how people who give are often the most successful. He categorizes people into three groups: the takers, the matchers, and the givers. So, takers, they focus on their own interests. Matchers, they look for equal exchange, but givers really think differently. They focus on helping others and they tend to do better in the long run. Now, his research shows that givers tend to build stronger networks, are more likely to get promoted, and are more successful in both their personal and professional lives. So, why do you think that is? Well, it's because people remember when someone has helped them. They remember the value you've given. It's the foundation for a lasting connection. And there's more research to support this idea too. A study published in Psychological Science found that people who help others are more likely to feel fulfilled. Helping others increase your sense of purpose, which in turn makes you feel happier and more satisfied with your life. It's really a win-win. It's simple. Give more and you'll get more. Not in the transactional sense, but in the sense that relationships come back to you. Your network grows, your opportunities increase, and you become a more valuable person in the process. And so, this real benefit is the ripple effect. When you take every meeting, you start a chain reaction. You meet one person, they introduce you to someone else, and that person introduces you to yet another. This is the ripple effect of relationships, and each new connection has the potential to lead to something bigger. Think of your network as a web. Each person you meet is a node in that web. The more people you connect with, the larger the web becomes. And each new connection brings new possibilities. Now, the beauty of taking every meeting is that you never know where it might lead. One meeting might feel like a small interaction, but what if that person knows someone who ends up changing your life? The connections you make today might not pay off immediately, but years down the road, they can make all the difference. You're really banking all of these drips and drips and drips in building meaningful connections now, and that could pay off really, really huge in the future. This concept is known as 6 degrees of separation. You might have heard it because there's a famous movie and there's a book and blah, blah, blah. But really the idea is that everyone is connected to everyone else through a chain of acquaintances. And by taking every meeting, you expand your circle exponentially. Every new connection should lead to opportunities you never thought possible. So how do you actually start adopting this mindset? Well, it's not as hard as it seems, but here are some steps that I've tried to put together to help you get started. The first is actually shifting that mindset. The first step is to mentally commit to this. Start thinking about every new introduction as an opportunity to give. What can you offer this person? How can you help them? Even if you don't know them well yet, the mindset shift will guide this conversation. Number two, be open minded. Approach every meeting with an open mind. Don't judge someone based on their title or their job. Everyone has something valuable to offer, and the people you think might not be valuable now, they could be a very important connection down the road. That's definitely happened to me. Number three, follow up and follow through. The meeting doesn't end when you say goodbye. Follow up with a thank you email. See if there are ways to help them further. Follow through on any promises you make. This shows you're serious about building a meaningful relationship. The next, leverage your network for others. One of the best ways to show you care is by helping others. Introduce people who could benefit from each other. Make connections. offer that value. This creates goodwill and people will remember you for it. The next, be consistent. The key to all of this is consistency. Taking every meeting won't give you instant results, but the more you do it, the more relationships you build. The more relationships you build, the more opportunities you open up. Next, learn from each meeting. This is really, really important. Every person you meet has something to teach you, whether it's a new idea, a different perspective, or a new way of thinking. There's always something to learn. And here's another thing that a lot of people don't really think about is sometimes it's just very valuable confirmation. Even if they're not teaching you something new, they might be validating a lot of the things you're already thinking about. Treat every meeting as a chance to grow. And then finally, build long-term relationships. The purpose of all this is not to get something right all the time and get it right away. It's about building relationships that last. The value of these relationships will pay off in the long run. So what's that benefit of human connection? Well, I'll tell you where I'm approaching it. I strive for a world where every encounter is cherished, where every introduction is embraced with open arms and an open heart, and a world where human connection becomes a profound celebration of our shared existence. I challenge you to step into every conversation with curiosity and tenderness, knowing that each person we meet shapes us in ways we may never fully comprehend. So lean into that magic of every introduction, every moment of shared humanity. Take every meeting, give first, embrace the unknown. And in the end, the true richness of life lies not in what we achieve alone, but in the countless people we've touched along the way. So I can't say this enough. Take the meeting. Allow yourself to be swept away by that beauty of human connection. Say yes to that stranger, the friend of a friend, the unexpected invitation. In every new face, there is a vast universe waiting to be discovered. And in choosing connection, you are choosing a life filled with love, wonder, and endless possibility. Thanks for listening. Until next time. Thanks for joining me on this journey. If today's episode sparked curiosity or resonated with you, let's keep the conversation going. Until next time, stay connected, stay curious, and keep exploring the human threads that connect